Okay, I'm gonna start this off with a serious question. Is there a reason that our previews for movies have previews now? I mean, it seems like this has been popping up just in the last few months, where like you click on the movie trailer you want to watch, and then there's like this much shorter version with dramatic music right at the beginning, where it says just watch the Gunslinger one, and it was seriously says like official trailer, and has some scenes from not necessarily the movie, but it has scenes from the trailer that you're about to watch. And I don't know if this is like a Facebook thing to get people's attention when they're scrolling. I don't know. um it's mildly annoying. I don't, it's certainly not adding anything. It just, when you get to the really cool scenes in the trailer, like for example, the gunslinger one, when he's like tossing a bullet and chambering it in the air. It was pretty awesome. But when it came to that point in the trailer, it's like, well, I've already seen that in the trailer for the trailer, and so that's not impressive at all. So the trailer for the Gunslinger did drop today, and I just now realized that I'm calling it the Gunslinger, which I think the actual movie is called the Dark Tower, which is fine for those who've obviously read the books or seen the books. It's a series. The series is called the Dark Tower, and the in book one is called the Gunslinger. But really should definitely specify the proper name for the movie. It always kind of throws me off too. Same thing with Game of Thrones. Is the book series is A Song of Ice and Fire, or is it Fire and Ice? Man, I can't remember. But then book one is a Game of Thrones, but then the series is Game of Thrones, because why not? It is a better title. I mean, Song of Ice and Fire. That's a good. Don't get me wrong, that's a really good title. But Game of Thrones, that's a really good title. But Dark Tower trailer dropped, and my first reaction is, first of all, dang, Roland is cool, and he's always been cool, and I'm so happy he's cool because, uh, you know, in fantasy books, and I've read quite a few fantasy books, but I he is just really one of the coolest heroes that I've had the pleasure to follow around in a book, and this preview really kind of gets me excited for the movie on that topic alone. Um, my second thought is, they don't have a lot of Matthew McConaughey in there, but you know I'm I'm not super thrilled about him yet. It's like everything he's is in the preview is good. And I hope they're just reserving him, because I know Matthew McConaughey can pull this role off. I know he can. Um, uh, but I'm hoping they're kind of reserving him for the movie to show off what he can do. Um, but let's face it. Book one, and I don't know. Uh, I obviously don't know how closely they're going to follow with the books, if they're planning. I don't know initially, at least. They may have already announced this. I don't know initially if they're planning to make 7 movies, or if they're going to start combining some stuff and shorten it a little bit. But um, the most important thing in Dark Tower is how cool, how sympathetic is Roland, and that above all else has me excited about this movie, because I really think they've nailed it. My third reaction is, man, I got to reread these books. Um, Honestly, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think back, because I read, well, I read Gunslinger I read Gunslinger in '99. I remember because I was working at Barnes and Noble at the time, and that's when I was working at Barnes and Noble. It was '98, '99, and I read it in '99, I stopped because I read somewhere else that's at the time, oh, okay, I remember what it was. It was like I think it was in the introduction to Wizard and Glass, that uh, Stephen King put in there that he didn't think he would ever finish it, and I was like, man, I've got a lot of books to read. I don't know that I really want to do a series that's never going to end. Um, but then, fairly soon thereafter, um, he pumps out an ending. The final three books come out really close together, um, and so I went back and I reread The Gunslinger, and I'm gonna find out when that was real quick. Okay, just looked it up. Power of Google, and it seemed to even take less time than it did because editing. So it was '03, '04 where the last three books came out, and so that's I was because I knew that the last three books were coming out. I started reading Gunslinger again and got through them in that same time period, and absolutely loved them. And I'm sitting here staring at the preview, going, okay, it's been a lot. It doesn't feel like that long ago that I read the books, but it's been like 14 years. And I remember bits and pieces of it, but I'm sitting here trying to figure out, it's like, okay, can I tell from the previews how accurate are they going to stick close to the book? And I was like, I don't remember the book well enough to even make that declaration. I'm sure there's thousands of articles being written as we speak, about what we can tell, um, about the movie based on, what we know from the books, and et cetera and so on. And these people are much more qualified to write these things than me. But it's one of those things. It's like I really should reread these. So kind of at the end of the day, it's like I am I'm I was excited about the announcement for this movie, and I was excited about the casting of this movie, and I'm more excited now. This looks like it's going to be really really well produced and well adapted. The other movie that I'm pretty pumped about is Glass, and I think it's kind of interesting because let's face it, we're in an age that, for all practical purposes, has been designed for me. And I know that I share interests with a lot of you, and so just the recent trends in movies, a lot of it is just really exciting for nerds like us. I mean, new Star Wars every year, and they're fantastic, and superhero movies, just pretty much one a month, exaggerating a little bit, but I don't know how many do we have this year? It's like 6. It's ridiculous, and so almost literally one every other month, and a lot of them are great. Some of them are weaker, but we're getting like Logan, that's fantastic, and I'm not going to do another video defending Zack Snyder, although I should, because that was by far my most popular video ever. But I love what he's doing with stuff, and generally I'm a lot of the Marvel movies are just great, and it's just weird that right now in the middle of this all, what I'm most excited about is not episode 8, although you all have no idea how excited. I mean, I'm ridiculously excited. It's not Thor. I'm excited about Thor, but I got to tell you, it's like the Dark World kind of. I enjoyed. I really did enjoy Dark World, but it dampened my excitement for Thor. Not that it was a bad movie, but I just felt like it was the same movie that we just watched. There wasn't anything that was like really like Captain America's doing, is like really breaking new ground with every movie, and Thor just not. so I'm excited about Thor. I'm very excited about Wonder Woman. But what I'm most excited about is Dark Tower and Glass. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm excited about Glass is because first of all, it seems like M. Night Shyamalan is back. I was a massive M. Night Shyamalan fan. Um, up until The Happening. And I liked The Happening. It was good. It was fine. I won't say it's good. It was fine. Um, but it just wasn't up to quality. And I feel like I'm one of the few people who like the Last Airbender. But it's way too much plot and the kids were not very good. And so I was like, I generally go see. I've still gone to see Shyamalan films, but that kind of excitement that I had back in the day where he was just churning out Unbreakable and Signs and The Village and Lady in the Water, and I think I feel like I'm in a minority on Lady in the Water too, but that's actually one of my favorites of his. I just adore that movie. The the excitement that I was feeling was gone until really until The Visit. And we walked out of that movie. It's like, goodness, I mean, that, he's returning to his roots. That was a really good, small cast, small set movie, which is what he's really good at. And so I was thrilled. It's like, man, he made a very good film again. And then Split came out, and it was even better. And and here's back to the main point of why I'm excited. Why I'm excited about Glass is because Shyamalan has now given us two superhero movies that we didn't realize were superhero movies until the end. Then that's pretty impressive because in it and it's not just because of some twist ending. Unbreakable did have a twist ending, um, but it wasn't the creation of the superhero. The twist ending was the and okay. Do I need to do a spoiler alert? I'll do a spoiler alert for Split because that's more recent. But if you haven't seen it, what is turn this off and go watch Unbreakable. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Um, but Unbreakable, the twist ending was not the creation of the superhero. The twist ending was the creation of the supervillain. The superhero was very natural evolution of his character and in the story arc until you're getting to the end and you're realizing, oh my goodness, this guy's a superhero. I mean, he's done an exceedingly realistic superhero film, more realistic than we've probably ever gotten. And that's not to say there's not some really superhero-y elements like the fact that Bruce Willis is unbreakable. I mean, okay, yeah, sure, but it's an exceedingly realistic superhero movie. And then we're watching Split, and we have a exceedingly realistic supervillain origin story, and we don't realize it until the end. And the twist at the end of this, when we find Bruce Willis, and we realize, oh my goodness, I just watched a sequel. I had no idea. 2 hours in, no idea that this was a sequel to a great film, one of my favorite films. And that just put in the old Shyamalan way of just adding a layer and not ruining the layer, not ruining the level that you were watching it to begin with, but adding an additional layer that you're going back and going, oh dang, that's what was going on, and it's even better now. It's even better, and so now we know what we're getting into, and the fact that Samuel L. Jackson has been cast again, and of course, the title of the movie, Glass, is a reference to his character, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect Glass coming back. Honestly, I thought, okay, so this is going to be Bruce Willis against the Beast. But it looks like it's going to be focused, at least a big part, on Samuel L. Jackson's character, which makes sense because the Beast feels like he's siding with those who are broken. And there's no one more broken than Mr. Glass. And there's no one less broken than Bruce Willis. And so this makes a very natural conflict and a very natural alliance, which looking back, you're like, why didn't I see this before? Okay. I mean, just going through Split and all the talk about, the Beast talking about people who are broken, and people are broken over and over and over again, and it's like, M. Night Shyamalan has not made that many movies. I mean, I think it's under 10. Might be right at 10. We should be going. We're treading familiar ground here. But I mean, in the way that only a very good storyteller can do, he's showing you something, and he's convincing you that it's something else, that it's not what it really is, and then the reveal that, oh no, it's been sitting right in front of you, but it's not what you thought it was, and that's the mark of a very good storyteller. And I'm just pumped to have Shyamalan back, because I remember getting so excited when a new Shyamalan film was announced, and that excitement faded for several years, and it's back. It's exciting to return to Shyamalan fandom, and so still have no idea what the plot is going to be. We can certainly guess. I think the alliance between Mr. Glass and the Beast is a no-brainer, because now Mr. Glass can fight back where he couldn't before, and the Beast is going to have be given some direction from Mr. Glass's massive intellect, and so this could be a very, very fun movie. And so these are kind of the things I'm looking forward to. And doesn't mean I'm not going to see Thor or Wonder Woman or JLA. I will be there with excitement. Really pumped about these movies, but looking forward over the next few years. These are the two that really have my interest right now. And so I'm looking forward to see more.